Got money on my mind, I swear I'm gonna win, even if it kills me. I got money on my mind, the only way I'm gonna rest is if these motherfuckers kill me. I got money on my mind.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're just going to be doing a video as I was seeing on eBay, Gumtree, Facebook, all these places about people selling spares or repairs E46s with the M54 engine. Now, as you guys know, people have got this weird philosophy in their head that they just hear BMW and think it's going to be ultra reliable for the rest of their life and won't have to spend a penny. You get people going from Ford, going by BMW, then they get it, it has problems, and then think, why is everyone saying about they're reliable? The reason that is because people go and buy them and then expect just to drive them with doing no overhauling on these cars. Now, as you guys are aware, these cars require overhauling before you can even drive them. You guys saw what I had to do to the M54 engine. You guys have seen what I've had to do to the M52 engine. These cars are not drivable at all. And now the only way you can get them and make them reliable is if your partner is not a retard or you're not a retard and you can fix this car yourself and do all the work yourself. If you have to take it to a garage, the car will not be reliable at all. It will cost you way too much money. Everything on these cars needs overhauling, no matter if it's 90k or 100k. As soon as they hit 100k, these cars need overhauling because every part on them is worn. As you guys know, the Vanos seals I did everything on the car. We're just going to be doing a video today showing what parts actually fail on these cars and what parts need overhauling before you can even think of driving one and then driving it down the motorway or the highways thinking it's going to last you forever and you're not going to have to spend a penny. This is the God's honest truth. You cannot just go and buy these cars and think they're going to run free with trouble free. It just don't happen. You can neglect them, but the fact is that the moment you're running, the moment one thing goes, you're going to destroy hundreds of things with it. With BMW, you cannot just think of driving them and not replacing the parts that are needed. You need to overhaul everything now because the moment one thing goes, it just takes a lot of things out with it. So let's go to the engine. I'm going to show you what parts need overhauling on this car. As you'll see guys, this is the M54 engine and listen just to how nice this car is actually running. Now, it was not running like this when I bought it. It was all loud, as you know, the idler pulley was going and all the tensioners, we've changed everything and the car now just runs an absolute dream. Now this is the way the M54 is meant to run. It runs absolutely fantastic and silent. The way these engines were made to be and the way I know them. Now, the first common failure that anyone's going to get when they buy this car is going to be the throttle body boot. That intake hose right at the top here breaks, as you don't know if you can see there, which is right down there, up there. It breaks and cracks and causes air leaks. Common problem. When it does, you'll get your rough idle codes and your misfire codes and your lean codes for having that perish because it connects onto the idle control valve. The next one that's going to fail is again your disser. You'll know when that fails, it will cause a rattling sound. As you know, it uses vacuum. The best way to check that is to take it out, hold your finger over the vacuum, flap it open and hold your finger and see if it flaps back closed. If it don't, then it means your disser's fine, but that will also cause low down power and lean codes as well, because you're losing power because as you know the disser controls the amount of air going into the manifold to give more power, to give more torque on the rear. The next one is the Vanos seals. Now as you guys know, I've already overhauled all that on this car. They need to be done. People will get these cars and think nothing of it, but trust me, I was the same as you. If you get these, that has to be done. Trust me, it's a must and you will not regret it. The amount of power this car brings after having them done is incredible. They sit right here. You also have to remove the valve cover, which we're gonna go over in just a sec, but do the Vanos seals. It's very vital for this and it changes the whole car. The lower torque in the lower end RPM range really significantly improves and you feel a lot more power than what you ever thought before. And if you have been driving it with Vanos seals gone, change it and trust me, it'll be the best thing you ever done. Now the next thing is the valve cover. Now this has got the reinforced one, but as you know, before 2001 they had the one before that which would leak all over the place, all down the sides here, and you would have oil running everywhere and burning out your oxygen sensors the lot. This one on the other hand is now reinforced and it's got no leak. So from 01 upwards they've got the reinforced one and you know you're going to suffer no leaks. I redone all the valve cover gasket, the Vanos seals, as I got it as a whole kit, as you guys know. So we redone everything on this car, but this car is now a solid car with all that done on the engine side. The next thing I've done is the idler, as that was making a funny bearing noise. The bearings go on it and it pulls it, as you know, it locks onto a pin just onto the body itself there, and that can go funny. And also the tensioner, we had to overhaul that because they're common, they do fail. You better replace all your pulleys, as it causes annoying groaning sound even when you're at idle, and also cause like a bearing sound. You don't want that. So change that while you're taking off the fan anyway, and you're doing the water pump and the thermostat. As you know, the water pump and the thermostat down here, they are another common problem to go. When they go, they can cause this engine to overheat. You want to try and be very, very careful not let this engine overheat. As you rip the threads out the block on these, you don't want to be doing that on this car, and it will cause head gasket failure. Big job on this car. The next one, if you're losing oil, before anyone even jumps and says piston ring bad by design, check your CCV. Now, in all the time I've owned an M54, and I'm going to say this, I have never had an M54 with the piston ring problem. That's the God's honest truth. I've had many of these engines. I've had them in the 325 Ci, my convertible. I've had them in my 525 on my E61. I've not had a piston ring problem. I can assure you of that. They've all been on 150, 160k with no piston ring problems. I don't know if that's the lower mileage ones that suffer with that, because people don't break them in properly. I'm not sure what the problem is, but I ain't ever had that problem, or they just lack maintenance throughout their whole life. Now, as you know, when I got this car, it did have all original BMW dealer parts on it, which I don't know if they had ever been changed or they were just that strong that they've lasted that long. Regardless, we've changed it anyway. If you're going to replace the CCV, make sure you use a Febby Bilstein one. I saw me do that on this manifold. This manifold is not as easy as the M52, but make sure you use a proper name brand one, otherwise you will have problems and you don't want to be doing that job again. Trust me on that. I'm telling you that from experience. The next thing you're going to want to do is when you take out this oil dipstick, as you have to take it out anyway to get to the CCV, because the CCV pipe plugs onto it, is replace the O-ring that sits in the sump itself. Make sure you replace that. Don't reuse the old one, otherwise it will leak oil everywhere. The next one you're going to want to make sure you do, and trust me guys, this is a must. I'm telling you this now. As you guys know, I went and had the exhaust studs cut off and put new ones in. As soon as I got this car back, this decided to crack, the coolant reservoir. Now, a lot of people are never aware of this and they carry on driving because they don't look at their car. They just get in and drive them. And then this leaks, it loses all the coolant as they keep driving it. They'll go onto the motorway with that all cracked. It will throw out all the coolant when they stop, and then their head gasket will be blown. Their car will be overheating and they won't even realise. Luckily, I'm very smart with cars like this. We don't have the under tray on this car. As soon as we pulled up, I saw the coolant leaking everywhere, because I look at everything because I could smell it in the car. And I could see the coolant going out everywhere. And the moment I saw that, I got the coolant, tried to top the car up, and I saw where it was coolant coming from, and it was cracked all the way straight down the coolant reservoir. Now, something you need to be aware of and something you need to be checking, and make sure any car you do buy is going to need this changing. It is a common problem. These cars use a lot of heat. So the hoses in the UK don't fail as much as they do in the US, as we don't get the heat here. And another problem is the USA about removing this fan here, the fan clutch. I'm against doing that because I've never ever had any issues with that fan clutch. Now, that all being said, if you bought an E61 with the M54 engine and it's automatic, it doesn't have the fan clutch. Only the E46 and E39 use that fan clutch. I've had E61s that never use this, and they lose that bolt as well, the bolt that the fan clutch goes onto. The water pump, if you get them from an E61, which uses the whole same system, uses a different water pump that doesn't even have the thread for the fan clutch. You know, so you've got to bear that in mind. It doesn't use that fan, and it makes it a lot better. I think that's because it's got an electric fan system that runs it instead. But you know, you can take it off, but I choose not to. I replaced the clutch, I replaced the clutch fan. We did everything. I got new bolts from BMW. I overhauled the whole fan, because at the end of the day, it's there for a reason, and I'm going to leave it there. It's there by design, and it's got to be there. BMW would have put it there if they didn't think it was needed. And I've said to you guys that many times. The next thing you guys are going to want to check as well is make sure, obviously, as you've seen on here, the exhaust bolts were cracked. Make sure they are not rusted, because they can cost a fortune. It's not something most people can do themselves. You've got to jack the car up. So make sure you end up doing that yourself. The next thing you're going to want to make sure as well is that all your idle control valve as well is fine as well, because they like to stick. When they stick, it will cause rough running and rough idle as well down here. It sits right down here underneath where this throttle body boot goes, and you want to make sure that the idle control valve isn't sticking. If it is, your idle, when you rev it up, won't be coming back down as smoothly as it's meant to. So do make sure that your idle does sit back down where it's meant to sit back down, otherwise you will end up in problems where the car is keeping its revs up, it's not sitting properly. The next thing you guys are going to want to check as well, which is a common problem in the US, which I've seen, is the MAF sensor, which sits right here as well. These like to tend to go. These have never actually gone on me, but I know it's a common problem in the US. Maybe some people do in the UK. They like to eat their MAF sensors, but I think the majority of them eating their MAF sensors is usually people putting performance air filters on, the cone filters, and they're eating the MAF sensor. It's a common problem, and it's been known to do that quite a few times. The next thing you guys are going to want to check as well is this little hose right here. It runs on a metal line. Most people take the metal line off and run it to the fuel pressure regulator without this metal line, but I never. This likes to perish as well, and then it will cause low pressure fuel codes, and it also calls misfire codes, rough running codes, because this goes all the way from here, from the intake boot, all the way back down to the fuel pressure regulator. So make sure that ain't cracked. It will crack if you try and take it off, the same as this T-piece if it's never been replaced. It's just a common problem. And also this hose as well will be a bitch to come off, because it was with me. You'll need to get a new one, a new T-piece here, and connect them both on, and probably have to redo the whole line anyway. But it's worth doing, so you know it's all been done. Okay guys, so we've just been over all the video, and I hope you've liked all the common problems that I've shown you on this car. These are all the common problems that will go on these E46s. As I said, you cannot just go and buy them and think you can drive them the way they are. They do need all this overhauling, and I advise you strongly you're going to need to get this sorted, and you will need to overhaul this at some point in time in this life. If it's not in the beginning, it will come immediately, but my advice to you is, if you're going to go and buy one of these engines, any car with this engine, may I say, go and get it overhauled immediately. It needs to be done. It's something that has to be done on these cars. If not, you will run into problems, and you'll end up finding the car leaving you stranded. It will not be as reliable as you first thought when you first bought it. These cars can be extremely reliable, but only if you overhaul them. Take my word on that. You have to overhaul these cars. It's not a drivable car, no BMW is, but you can't just buy them and drive them. No diesel, no petrol, no nothing. These cars need overhauling. That's why BMW sell them with warranty, and people get rid of them after the first 3 years, because once they hit 100k, that's it. They need every new part to man. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, this is BMW Doctor here. Please give this video a thumbs up, and goodbye.